As your host tonight. Always a blast to work with him, along with engineer Bruce Williams. The final score once again from Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, the Clippers 114, your Portland Trailblazers 107. Be sure to stick around on our flagship station, Rip City Radio 620 in the Portland area for the fifth quarter with Chris Burkhardt. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Until then, Rip City, enjoy the rest of your evening wherever you may be.
You've been listening to the Trailblazers postgame show on the Trailblazers Audio Network.
This has been Portland Trailblazers basketball. Wherever you may.
Welcome into the fifth quarter, friends. Chris Burkhardt here with you, talking a little Portland Trailblazers as they go down to Los Angeles for their first road game of the season and drop one to the Clippers, 114 to 107. If you want to join the conversation with us this evening, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there as well. Good game from the Blazers, bad result for the Blazers. This is now, as we continue to not really decide, because we don't make that decision, but as we continue to decipher what type of team we have, we're going to start to notice a few little trends. One trend, defensively, they're going to bring it every single night. This is now 3 nights where they made a team work. Maybe they got beat more than they would have liked, but they definitely still made them work. However, this is 2 nights now out of the 3 that the offense has absolutely struggled. Offense kind of got them out of that game against Minnesota. Offense won them the game in Golden State. And tonight, your Trailblazers shoot just 37% from the floor compared to 55% for the Clippers. Again, defense came out strong. Donovan Clingan blocked Harden at the rim. That was pretty awesome. The Clippers offense was still able to find buckets, though. They were still able to get going. Harden and Kawhi got 8 of the first 12, and then they had the 34-23 lead after the first quarter. They ended that quarter on an 18-7 run. It was interesting, though. I noticed that Jeremy Grant and Young Hansen came in at the same time, when in the previous 2 games, Grant would come in solo as the first sub off the bench. And then a few minutes later, it was usually Young Hansen and Chris Murray. Nope, they came in at the same time this time. Give them a little chance maybe to play against Zubac a little bit, get another big body in there. And then Hansen ended with just 4 minutes tonight. I would still like him to be able to maybe get in these second halves, but that's just not in the cards right now as they ease him into playing. He's got to take advantage of those minutes, which he does. It's fun to watch him develop, and you know that there's a long road for him to go. But it was a little interesting to see just a little tweak in the rotation there. Massive second quarter, though, for your Trailblazers. They were on a 22-4 run late. They led 58-46. They had to go small ball. It was Drew, Shea, 2, Denny, and JG, and they were just giving the Clippers fits. They led 60-55 at the half. Denny and Drew each had 13. Shaedon Sharpe had 10. In the third quarter, though, the Clippers came out. They outscored the Blazers 32-22. And really, kind of the difference in this game. Portland couldn't come back after that. They tried, they got close, but they just could not get over the hump. Again, real big difference in this one. The Clippers 55%, the Blazers 37%. And to make those numbers even worse, the Blazers had 92 field goal attempts while the Clippers had 80. So the Clippers took 12 fewer shots, but they made 4 more. They only made 1 more from beyond the arc. The Blazers from beyond the arc again, 11 of 41, 26.8%. Defensively, again, they were good. On the glass, they were good. They did get out rebounded by the Clippers, but that total was 26-24. They had 12 steals to the Clippers 11. They had 2 block shots to the Clippers 8. That's becoming a little bit of a trend as well, as the Blazers not finishing at the line, or excuse me, at the rim, and getting those other teams easy block shots. Brook Lopez was turning back the clock tonight. He was just blocking everybody. It felt like anytime you went to the rim, he was going to get you. He ended the night with 3 blocks. Now let's take a look at the box score, starting with the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, he had 30 points in this one to lead the Clippers. Derrick Jones Jr. had 4 points, 21 points for Ivica Zubac to go along with 8 rebounds and 3 assists, 20 points, 13 assists, and 6 boards for James Harden. John Collins, 16 points off the bench. Chris Paul played 11 minutes. He had 6 points and 2 assists. On the Trailblazers side of things, Toumani Camara, again, when we talk about rough nights all the way around, just 2 of 8 for 5 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. And one thing I think is certain is this team's going to need to have more from him offensively on a consistent basis, which is something we talked about in the offseason and leading up to the year, that's what we were looking for this year. No one is making a broad assumption because of game 3 of the year. You would just like him to consistently get more than 5 points, that's for sure. Denny Avdia, I thought, proved once again that he's the best player on this Blazers team right now in this early season. 23.7 boards, 5 assists. Lucky he stayed in the game, appeared to bang knees with Kawhi Leonard in the end of the first half, but he did play in the second half, so that's good. Nothing to worry about there. Donovan Clingan, 9 points, 10 boards, and a single block shot. 21 points from Drew Holiday. Shaedon Sharpe had 19 points. However, he was just 7 of 24 from the field, including 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. You need more out of him. Jeremy Grant did score 17 off the bench. And as Trailblazers PR pointed out, Denny Avdia scoring 20 points becomes the first Trailblazer to score 20 or more points through the first 3 games of the season since Damian Lillard did it in 2022-2023. Blazers led for 11 minutes of action in this one. The Clippers led for 32. Biggest lead for the Clippers was when they led 34-23. The biggest lead for the Blazers was when they led 58-46. So they had their opportunity. They had their chances, really. If the offense would have been better, they probably could have left into a dome with a win. Probably could have left with a win. When the offense is flowing and the shots are falling, it looks really good. Look at the second quarter. The shots were falling, the 3-pointers were hitting, everything was flowing. But when it's not flowing, it gets bogged down. This is another game where you look at the notes and you go, okay, well, what is this team missing? Okay, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, that's what it's missing. It's missing a player like Scoot Henderson right now. Someone who can take the ball, slow things down when they need to, and just truly run that offense. They need a point guard. Drew Holiday is doing just fine. He's doing just fine. Don't get me wrong there. But I do think they need that ball handler, that playmaker. Drew, again, phenomenal. 21 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. He did have a double-double in the last game, and he's doing very, very well when it comes to distributing the ball. But Scoot Henderson is just that other guy, because as good as Drew's doing, you do take a little bit of a hit when you put in Blake Wesley. Blake Wesley is not great offensively. He does not lead like a true point guard in that aspect. He's a little bit more plays like a shooting guard. He looks like when he plays, he reminds me a lot of Will Barton, quite honestly. But defensively, he's great. But you need another offensive punch, someone to truly lead that second unit. And I think that's where Scoot Henderson is just sorely missed right now. On top of that, he can score, give you buckets. There's just a lot that he provides that the Blazers don't have at the moment. Again, good game. Defense was there. You see what you need to work on. Offense, really kind of the missing piece tonight. Had they not shot 37%, they win this game. And they, if Shaden Sharp doesn't shoot 1 of 9 from beyond the arc, they have a chance to win this game. The Blazers as a team, 26% from beyond the arc. They missed 30 3-pointers. They missed one fewer 3-pointer than the Clippers attempted. That's right. The Clippers were 12 of 31. The Blazers missed 30. That's crazy to think about, really. 11 of 41 on the night. Things like that make the difference in this game. Plenty to like, plenty to pick apart, which is okay for game 3. I think the effort was still there. I think Tiago Splitter is still trying to get his stamp on this team as he is the team's acting head coach right now. And, of course, there's still a lot of things that the team's dealing with. So, all in all, it is what it is. It's a loss against a playoff team, at least the team that expects to be a playoff team. And now you get to rebound, no pun intended, tomorrow, turn around, wipe it clean, take on the Los Angeles Lakers, a Lakers team that will be without LeBron James and Luka Doncic. And so you would hope that the Blazers go in and take advantage of the situation. That will kind of show you where this team's going to be throughout the year. If you ask me, is do you take advantage of a team when they don't have their 2 stars? You look at what happened last year and the years prior with this team. Oh, so-and-so came in and they didn't have Ja Morant and we lost by 50. Can't be doing that. Take advantage of this. Grab a win on the road and then go to Utah looking to end the road trip 2-1. I think you will be just fine. Just fine. We're going to take a quick break here on the 5th quarter. When we come back, going to continue to look at this game, see what you guys think. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Of course, you can head to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio as well, and join the conversation there. Where Roberto says, change the acting coach. Useless. I think that is just a bit of an early overreaction, Roberto. It's 2 games in. He's 1-1 in those 2 games, and there's a lot more to it than just canning a guy who did not expect to be head coach 2 games into his tenure with the Portland Trailblazers. And I will say this for anyone who wants to can Tiago Splitter, I love the man. I think he's a very, very good basketball coach. You guys know me. I was very excited when they hired him as an assistant. Loved what he did with Paris. Loved what he did as a player. Just a smart mind. It's a tough situation. He'll find his. He'll find his. Plenty more coming up after the break here on the 5th quarter on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.
Leonard on the perimeter, drives on Feibel, steps through, floats it up. That's no good. Batted around. Wesley's got it. Ahead to Sharp on the break with the hammer dunk. Blazers lead at 55-44, a 22-point swing. Here's Wesley. Backs it up, crosses, throws it out to Holiday. Ball fake in front of Bogdanovich. Now puts up a contested three. Knocks it down. 13 points for Drew Holiday. Seventh made three of the game for the Blazers. They lead it by 12, 58-46, with $1:53 to play in the half.
Welcome back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Breaking down this Trailblazers, I was like, whoa, there's more music. I was like, where's it coming from? I had to listen for a second. Who was it? Hadn't heard that rendition. But welcome back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you, talking about the Trailblazers lost to the Clippers tonight, 114-107. Lots to like, lots to pick apart. That's okay. It's just game 3. But you look at the comments that we've seen on social, the comments we've seen on YouTube, and even the text message we're getting. What's up with Shaedon Sharpe? As Sean says in the YouTube chat, hopefully Sharpe will start clicking soon. I do think you look at the situation, and I think one thing for Sharpe is he's still trying to figure out what it means for him and his game and how to approach it, being the number one option. Now, Denny has proven that he's the best player all around right now, offensively and defensively. Like Tumani's the best defender. Him and Drew are in that conversation, right? But Denny is your best player. But Sharpe is still, they're trying to assert him as the number one option on the team. The argument in favor of that, when you say, are you sure? Because Denny's playing so good, is 2 of the 3 games they've played, he has led the team in shot attempts because they're trying to run those offensive sets through him. And to be fair, that's not a situation he's been completely used to over the last few years. Ant was that guy. And Jeremy Grant, who's coming off the bench right now, was kind of asserting himself as the number 2. There was times where it felt Jeremy Grant was the number 1 option. So this is not a situation that Shaedon Sharpe has been in. And I'd say 3 games in, he's still just trying to figure that shot out, adjust to how teams are defending him a little bit. And I do think that shot will fall. We saw the end of the year last year where he got into his comfort zone. Things worked out just well. And I think they'll work out well just here. You know, Sharpe is not assertive enough to be the number 1 option, is what Han says. And I think that's something that they're just trying to figure out. And I think that's part of the mental part of getting used to the role that they're trying to bestow upon him. And I believe that that's what they need. They need him to go out there and be unstoppable. They need him to be unstoppable. How he does that, how he gets over the hump, I don't know. I think that more mental than obviously physical or talent. It's just getting into that groove. And as people have talked about, you know, oh well, he's passive. He doesn't, you know. Oh, I'm just focused on basketball, not my contract. People want him to be more out there. I don't know if that's just not his game. Or his mentality, right? Not everyone's like that. It's like Kevin Durant has been passive at times because he just wants to go hoop. Shaedon Sharpe, you're right. Like this idea that he can be just a little bit of hesitation. Right? Just be more assertive. Trust yourself. Now, those things take time. I think those things take time to trust everything you do. Heck. Sometimes I get in here in front of this mic and don't trust what I'm doing. And then the boss pulls me to the side, like, Burke, you're doing fine. Just try this. Do this. This is the approach you need to make. And you make those changes. And you would hope Tiago can maybe get that hesitation out of him. But physically, he has the tools to be that guy. It's just get over the hiccups, man. Understand that you should be just an absolute baller. An absolute baller. Go up with so much intensity on those block or dunk attempts that you don't get blocked by a 50-year-old Brook Lopez, who for some reason still looked really good defensively. Guy's kind of timeless, which is just kind of sad. I wish Rolo were still around. I wish he were still around. Again, hesitation tends to be the comment that we're seeing here when it comes to Shaden Sharp. Now, if he's playing like this, you got to be fair. Like, if he's playing like this at game 20, 15, 20, I'm a little bit more worried. Not putting my hand on the panic button just yet. 20 shots tonight. He had 20 shots in that first game against Minnesota, 15 in the game against Golden State. Denny got hot, so the ball started going through him a little bit more. But yeah, you just need him to just assert himself. Assert your dominance. Let the world know that you're in control. The Mamba mentality, right? That gets bestowed upon Kobe. The mystique of Michael Jordan, because those were two guys that definitely stepped on the court and asserted their dominance. And I'm not saying you got to be like the cockiest player in the world or the most arrogant player in the world, but I do think you should walk into every single gym and think that you're the baddest mamma jamma to walk in there, the baddest ball player on the court at any given moment. Even if it's not true, just play with that mentality. I am better than you. You are not going to stop me. And quite frankly, when you got the talent to back that up, brother, it'll definitely show itself. Definitely show itself. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio and join the conversation there, where Jake says, beat LA. Beat LA. On the plus side, you still have a chance to beat LA. And if you're going to lose to one LA team and beat the other on a back-to-back, you lost to the team that you would prefer to lose to, right? As a Blazer fan, Lakers are a no-go. You want to go in there. You want to get the win against Hollywood's finest. You want Donovan Clingan to meet DeAndre Ayton at the rim a few times and get that ball. Just get out of here. Get out of there. Maybe young Hansen can get to dunk on him, put a nice little spin move on DA. Have to check the weather report, make sure that there's not any threat of ice in Los Angeles tomorrow to prevent old DA from getting down to Staples Center or crypto.com, whatever we're calling it nowadays. If there were ice, he'd still get in. It's pretty flat around there. The West Hills over here, you're living up here during an ice storm. It is a little hairy. We have to be real. We have to be real. Now, Sean chimes in and says, I like that he kept trying to posterize even though he was stuffed a few times. Yes, I think, again, I think that is part of that passiveness that we were talking about. That's working that out. You're not being passive there. Trust everything. Just trust you can go get those things. I like the guy who tries to go back up after he keeps getting stuffed. I like the defender that doesn't get out of the way knowing a poster is coming. Like, young Hansen gets absolutely posterized in the first game by McDaniels there in Minnesota. And I love that. Everyone, posterize. I will take my center or my power forward, my big man down low, getting posterized 10 out of 10 times rather than the opposite, which is my defensive anchor stepping out of the way and watching a guy go to the rim, undefended because they don't want to be on the highlight. They don't want to be on the highlight package. No. Play defense, man. Play defense. I like that because good things happen. Brook Lopez does not have the bounce that he used to, and he never had a game built on bounce in the first place. But when you don't get out of the way and you go up, when a guy like Shaden Sharp is coming in to just go off on you, you get blocks. You get blocks. Tall Tim, that was an unintended connection that I did not mean to make. But no, the Iceman, DeAndre Ayton. That is like Trailblazer lore that will just go down in infamy for years to come. The day DeAndre Ayton didn't make it to a Trailblazer game because he was iced in. This is funny. But hey, to be fair, I mean, have you seen some of the cars these NBA players drive? Their clearance is just a little low. The traction is not the best for all weather. They are a little bit expensive. I don't know if I want the icicle breaking off the tree hitting my hood. That's why you got to respect guys like, Myers Leonard and Yusuf Nurkic, who were driving the 4x4s, right? Hey, little bit of ice and snow. You give Dame a call, like, hey, need me to pick you up? Heard that Bugatti's not going to make it to Moda Center in time. He does not drive a Bugatti, but you get what I'm saying. All right, if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And, of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the conversation there. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to head to the Coach's Corner, hear what Tiago Splitter had to say after this game. Look ahead to the Lakers game tomorrow, back-to-back. Giving this team what is with this? The Warriors came here on a back-to-back. Blazers getting a back-to-back for game 2 and 3 of the season, or I guess 3 and 4 of the season, excuse me. These are early. Guess you're getting it when they're not too tired. All about the game and how you play it. They played it all right tonight, just not good enough to win. Final score in Los Angeles, the Clippers 114, your Trailblazers 107. Plenty more coming up after the break here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Welcome back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and get in on the conversation there as well. Sean says the Sharps going to have a Reeves-like game tomorrow. Hey, get it done. Make some shots. Watch what happens. I think he's the type of guy that if you get a few shots to go, you start building that confidence. You start building that confidence, you start getting rid of that hesitation. That's what I want to see from him. Take those threes with confidence. Put the ball on the floor with confidence. Don't overthink the process. Just go do. You are a freak athlete. Make the most of it. Make the most of it. Now, we did have a caller earlier who hung up before I could get to him, but did want to mention, their appreciation for Tiago Splitter. I'll tell you, Tiago is coming into a tough situation. You are hired to be the assistant head coach. A off the field incident happens or off the court that thrusts you into the spotlight. The team offers it to Nate Bjorkgren, but he says no. So they're like, well, Tiago, we need you in our time of need. We need you to step up. He says, okay, I got the head coaching experience coming over from Paris. I'm going to do this. And there's so many question marks as to what the future of that position holds. New ownership coming in, all that. So there's a lot to take in, and he has a team looking to him for guidance, and I think he's going to do just fine. I'm not upset that they lost to the Clippers. They got the win against Golden State, which was huge, all things considered. Played well tonight. Offense just wasn't there. I don't know if that's a product of coaching when you're just missing shots. Is the offense moving? Is the ball moving where you want it? We'll continue to watch those things and see how they play out. If the offense looks dead, regardless of what the shots are doing, then yeah, you start to say, okay, Tiago, let's fix that. But right now, I think he's in an incredibly tough situation, and I think he's going to make the best of it. He's a good coach. He's a smart coach, and I want to see this play out. I really do. I'm excited for him because, like I've told you guys plenty of times, I love the hire, and now we get a chance to see it play out. Is he the coach of the future? Who knows? But he's the coach of the right now. And he has a chance to do something special. And speaking of the coach of the right now, let's head to the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. Hear what Coach Splitter had to say following this loss to the Clippers.
And I think that's a little bit the game.
Defensively, how would you describe what you saw from your guys, and especially in that second quarter?
Yeah, I mean, just the intensity. I think Blake Wesley brought some, the pressure in their ball handlers and changed the whole game for us. We started a little bit slow the game in that regard, and we got better throughout the game. And then I think in the end of the day, they are a very talented team, and they just made more shots than us.
Tiago, the shot making, a problem tonight, was a problem at the end of the Minnesota game. Is that how is that something you guys are going to be able to figure out down the line?
Yeah, I mean, just keep giving them confidence. You gotta shoot better, and we will. I think in general, we're shooting, worse than we are capable to do it.
Describe their defense. It seemed like they kind of started slowing down and breaking a little bit there.
I don't think so. I think we kept playing our game. They were slow offensively, moving the ball and trying to get, good shots for their guys. And it's really hard to help from the stars. James Harden got the ball, but they have 4 shooters around him, and then Kawhi Leonard, same thing. They got 4 shooters, so it's really hard to help much. And then Kawhi and James just made shots over our guys. Sometimes that's what's going on, right?
Coach, Shea's had a really tough time with his jumper so far. What are you seeing out of him, and what's kind of your message?
Yeah, I mean, he just gotta, knock it off a little bit because he had a great summer. I mean, he made a lot of shots in our gym during practices. I know he's capable. This is not him, so I'm not too worried.
Tiago, what's enabled the group to be resilient through just the turn of events this week, but also some pretty tough competition open the season?
Yeah, I mean, I promise you guys, this is what we're going to do every night. We're going to compete. And, they compete tonight for sure.
You look at the schedule coming up, there's no favors coming up. been for just the path ahead? How do you kind of navigate?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. We got to go one by one, right? Like, got Lakers tomorrow. We got to fill our tanks here and get ready to play another tough game. The good thing we're not traveling, so staying here and play another game tomorrow.
And there you hear from Coach Splitter. And yeah, I like what he said, you know. They're shooting worse than they're capable of, so he knows the offense can be better. He was asked specifically about Shane, so good in the summer. Just don't overthink it. Just go out there and do, because he was so good in the summer. Just don't overthink it. Just go out there and do. As he ended his quote there, he said, "This is not him. He trusts that he can go out there, get those shots, and become the offensive weapon that they need him to be." Trust coach. I trust coach. And he reiterated again, this is who they are. They're going to go out there and give it to you every single night. And we got to go through our Clippers post game, and maybe we'll have it for you, a quote for you tomorrow during the pregame, just to see what they said. Because after the Minnesota team loss, Anthony Edwards was talking about how good the team was defensively, how they just made you work. After that win against Golden State, Coach Kerr was talking about the length, their athleticism, the way they move, the way they make it hard for you, how this is a different Blazer team than they're used to playing. And tonight, you know, Thiago said he liked their defensive efforts. Sometimes James Harden and Kawhi Leonard just make shots. And they did tonight. Kawhi Leonard had 30 points. The guy goes out there. He's hard to guard. He makes that mid-range shot look easy. James Harden still has a three-pointer that's among the best of them. It's not as if they went in and played a bad Clippers team. No, they played a pretty good Clippers team and just weren't able to get it done. Final score, 114 to 107. I think that's going to do it for the fifth quarter tonight, though, because you know what? Sorry, I had to pause for a second. Shacker didn't go with Freebird. He went with Metallica. Sorry, I had to pause for a second. Shacker didn't go with Freebird. He went with Metallica, and it's beautiful. As I'm wearing my Injustice for All t-shirt today. Oh, it's just a beautiful song, guys. It's just a beautiful song. You know what? Makes me ready to go. I'm ready to play tomorrow. Thanks for the Metallica drop. Tomorrow, Blazers, Lakers, 7:30 tip at Crypto.com Arena, which means I will have game day for you at 5:30. Of course, Chad Doing follows with the pregame show, and then Travis Demers will have the tip-off all here on your home, the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620. Once again, your final score from the other Los Angeles team, Clippers 114, your Trailblazers 107. Rip City, I'll talk to you tomorrow.